Hello and welcome to the Psychic Side. We get a little crazy around here. You know, we're on the A1R Psychic Radio Network and Moonstruck TV, the number one psychic radio network on Earth. And I'm your host, John Cappello. I'm from the North Texas area. I'm a psychic medium, at least I call myself that. And I'm delighted to be here today. This is our 37th show. I've just been keeping track here. That's amazing. I'm just really happy to have been able to survive. so, so what we do here on the psychic side is, if you're just joining us, is we try to make psychic phenomena or psychic impressions a little more palatable, or or kind of dispel some of the skeptic notions that psychic ability doesn't exist, and we prove it all the time. So I'm really am happy to be here. Last week was the day after the terrible attack on Israel. And of course, we're not a political show, but we certainly want to be mindful of the tragedy in the Middle East and in Israel. And we want to get a solution some way or another. But it brings me to a little bit of a psychic lesson. Because you know, we talk a little bit, we talk all the time about psychic impressions, and clairsentience is a psychic feeling. And so, if you can indulge me for just a moment, I'm going to give you a little bit of homework and ask you to work with me a little bit about this. And I want you to kind of tap into your emotions, because if we tap into your emotions and you kind of dwell on the emotion of being angry, or being or disliking someone, just dwell on what that feels like when you dislike someone, and just know that it's an uncomfortable feeling. It's just not, there's something not right about it. And then if you can kind of, you know, if you want to dwell on that for a moment, and then you kind of up the ante a little bit and say, you know, I not only dislike this person, I'm angry with them. I'm really angry with them. You know, what does that feel like? What does that feel like about what anger feels like towards somebody else? And I hope you've never felt that, but you know, it's only human nature sometimes to get angry, and then be able to, you know, get over it. But if you take that emotion, and then you up the anger a little bit more, and you realize that you have some prejudice, you know, you're prejudiced. You not only dislike someone or anger at a certain group of people for whatever reason, but you find that you prejudge people just by the way that they look, or the way they sound, or some other notion that's around you. How does that feel? You know, it's an energy. Prejudice is an energy. And so you kind of have to say to yourself, why do I dislike that person so much? Why am I prejudiced about that? And so you may kind of do a little self review and say, there's no reason for me to be find that person distasteful. They never did anything to me. So you just have to kind of up the ante a little bit to prejudice. But then if you up the ante a little bit more, maybe even an octave more, maybe two octaves more, and get into fanaticism. Okay, a fanatic is someone that all you have to do is mention a name and they just go nuts. They're just in some ways not able to control themselves because they're fanatics. And this is what we saw in we see it with zealots who see this, or people who are super self-righteous, people that just cannot see more than one point of view, just see one thing, and they're kind of consumed with it. So, but then there's another area that I feel like you need to try to place yourself in a position of experiencing, and that is derangement. Okay, um, derangement is something that, in some ways, you don't have control over. You don't have control over that. And so when you feel other people are deranged, you can't talk to them. You can't reason with them. You can't have any kind of relationship with them because there's a mental problem there. There's something that's going wrong in the mind. And so when you feel that someone has got become deranged, that's when there's got to be action taken. There's got to be something done here. And this is something that's we have to watch world events or we watch the news and we learn a lot of psychic lessons from the things that are around us. And derangement is something that's not rational. It's not, it is indefensible. It's something that, especially when the derangement is towards another person, group, or country. And so when someone says that they want to wipe a group of people off the face of the earth, that's not anger. That's not even prejudice. It's all the way into derangement, and that's what we're seeing in the Middle East, and we're seeing derangement um, to try to wipe off the state of Israel, and then of course we are only we're second, where the United States is second, and so when you find that if you notice someone who's deranged around you, someone you can't talk to, someone that is so intransigent that you can't reason with them at all, you either leave them alone or you make sure that they can't do anything which is going to harm you. And that's where Israel is right now. Israel is at a point where they're dealing with derangement. Of course, they've always dealt with derangement, and that's a sad thing that they have to deal with that. But we see that here in the United States with some people who are totally intransigent, that cannot see reason, that cannot look beyond their own selfishness, and these are people that we have to be careful about. So I just want you to think about that. I know this is an audience that maybe goes worldwide, and just realize that there's this makes no sense whatsoever to have this kind of attitude towards a group of people. So with that, I see that we have a caller from Santa Monica. I didn't see her name again. I need to Audrey. Okay, so Audrey, are you calling from Santa Monica?
Yes, this is Audrey.
How are you today, Audrey? You doing okay?
Um, yeah, I'm fine, thanks.
Okay. Well, is there anything going on in a relationship for around you right now?
I'm not currently in a relationship. My partner passed away in January of this year, so
Your partner passed away?
yes,
Okay. Well, that's you miss your partner, is that right?
yes, of
So
course,
you're
yes.
very sad because it seems you're very sad about the loss of a partner or the loss of a relationship. I mean, sometimes when we lose a relationship, it's because someone has crossed over into the spirit world. And I'm not making light of that. I'm just saying that I just feel your sadness. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Um, I'm getting, I don't know, I'm getting some, I just feel like there's a woman around you. Is this your partner a woman or was this a man?
No, yeah, he was male.
Okay. Okay. The reason why I say that is because there's a woman around you as well. And so do you have a grandmother in spirit or do you have another a female that you were close to in spirit?
I have like a few grandmothers, but I didn't know any of them when they were living.
Okay. Okay. Well, before we bring in your partner, I want to just kind of explore that because one of these ladies, and I do believe it's a grandmother, is saying that you're a lot like her. Okay. I feel like
Hmm.
in some ways she says that you feel a little bit lost right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Okay. she says that it's been hard for you to get grounded since you had this loss, since you lost this gentleman. And this is not your husband. This is just a partner. Is that right?
Yeah, we were engaged.
But y'all weren't married yet. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, we weren't married. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Because she says now you may try to find out if one of your grandmothers lost her spouse or lost her husband, and she grieved terribly about it. So I don't know if you're still in contact a lot with your mom, but you might try to find out if her mother may have lost your grandfather, because it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
feels like
My granddad. Yeah, my granddad, which is my mom's father. Yeah, he died before my grandmother. That's on my mom's side, and then my dad's grandmother. She lost hers too, but she raised my dad. So
okay, but your mother's mother took it very hard that when she lost her husband. Is that right?
I'm not really sure. I never really discussed that with my mother.
Okay. Well, you might just ask her because she's relating to your feelings. And sometimes it's good to have a feminine spirit around you to be a support or guide for you, because that's what guides do. Guides are there for support. They help us face our fears. And what she says is that you're not going to be alone. Okay. And this
Hmm.
young man that passed away, um, did he have any breathing problems?
Not really. No, his lungs were fine as far as I knew.
Because it just feels like he was gasping for air, or was there illness around him?
He, yeah, I mean, his last moments, yeah, he had trouble breathing because of a heart issue, hypertension.
Okay, okay, because it just seems like his all of this was happening in his chest, and the heart and lungs are so they they're well, of course they're so close together, but it just felt like there was this gasping or this struggle that he was having right there before he passed away. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like he may have had. Did he have any multiple health issues or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, I knew it, but he didn't really talk about it a lot. I mean, I got the coroner's report and all that, but it was mainly his. Well, he had some back issues too from an accident.
Okay, because it's just had multiple. I'm just seeing multiple challenges that he had, not just heart, but it just maybe
Mhm.
he had not fully recovered from some injuries or something like that. But
Yeah.
I want you to know that he tried. He tried very hard to recover. And he just says that he was looking forward to having a life with you, because I feel like he
Mhm.
wanted children with you. Is that right?
Yeah, we were trying.
Okay. And he just says that he just his I don't know. I just feel like there was a breakdown in his body, and it wasn't just his heart. There may have been some other things that were starting to fail, maybe even his kidneys or whatever. But it just feels like he got sick, and there was just kind of a general failure there. That's what I'm picking up. But but I just want you to know that, like I say, he was looking forward to a life with you and wanted to spend his a long life with you and raise children. He's even talking about maybe did y'all ever want to buy any land or anything?
Um, we hadn't really talked about that. I mean, I had talked about like buying a house eventually, but yeah,
Okay. Well, but that's just kind of what I'm hearing from him, because he had a dream. All right. This is a man who had a dream, and you were certainly a big part of that dream. And so I want you to know
hmm,
he's letting you know that he is okay. He sends his love to you and wants you to know that he is very honored to have had you in his life. I mean, I just feel like y'all had a lot of fun together. Is that right?
yeah. I mean, we did. We enjoyed our time together.
Okay, okay. Well, that's kind of what I'm seeing around him. Do you have another question? And before we move on,
No, that's it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
okay. Well, I just want you to know that he's around you, and that he's looking for. someone for you in the future, but I know you're not interested in that at the moment. So, but thank you very much for your call. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Okay. So before we go to our next caller, I have a couple more things I want to say. And last week I mentioned to you a little bit about Lucifer. Okay, because we've been talking about archangels during our program, and so I don't want to go to too far off my agenda, but I do want to tell you that Lucifer. And I'm not defending Lucifer in any way. So I'm just telling you the origins of Lucifer was that he was originally one of the archangels, and he was actually a cherub angels. And cherub angels are the angels of wisdom and knowledge. And the thing about him is that he quickly became a leader in the hierarchy of angels. As a matter of fact, some people say that as a youthful angel, he was tutored by Michael, Archangel Michael. And after he finished his tutoring, he became a very, very powerful angel and actually sat on the right hand of God. Okay. But what happened was he became jealous when God created mankind. Then he got even more jealous when he created a woman, and so Lucifer really didn't like women. And then God went ahead and created, or he had a chosen people. Okay, and so after the fall of man in the Garden of Eden, then mankind spread out, and the people started to become more diverse. And there was a group of people led by Abraham that God chose to be His chosen people. Well, this made him even madder. But it's almost like the final straw was when God chose Moses. Okay, Moses was given horns, and Lucifer took offense to that, because if you don't know it, horns are a symbol of knowledge and wisdom. And if you look at the statue of Moses in the Vatican, you'll see he has horns. Okay, and they're small horns, but they were an indication of his knowledge and wisdom. Well, this just really caused an upheaval for Lucifer. And this is right after that is when he rebelled. And this is when he was cast out of heaven. And so I'll talk a little more about that's my dog in the back. He's trying to get in here. I'm broadcasting from my world headquarters in my room up in my house. so um, so Lucifer rebelled, and it was put down by Michael. And it's interesting that Michael, one of the charges that Michael has, in addition to others, and I'll talk to you more about him next week, is to guard the tomb of Moses, because Lucifer is still mad at Moses. And so this is all things that I found on the internet, things that I have learned over the years, and it's just interesting to have that background, because if you have that background about Lucifer, it kind of makes a lot of sense. And then you see what's happening, how this hatred toward the Jewish people continues and manifests itself in some of the people in the Middle East in the form of derangement. It's not all the people, not all the people, but there's a great number, and those people need to be dealt with. So so with that, we have another caller. I believe it's Donna from Dell City, so in Oklahoma. So Donna, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Hi, Donna. Have you called into the program before?
Yes, yes, a couple times.
You have. Okay, I thought you had. Okay. You have a question for me today?
I'm just wondering how my future, any good things coming.
I'm sorry, kind of broke up on me. How
Yes,
things are
are looking for in my future.
Your future, what's your birth sign?
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius, okay. Well, if you've been listening to my program, you know that the mutable signs, which are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, are going through difficult times right now because of Saturn in Pisces. And I looked at the chart today, and actually Saturn is 0 degrees Pisces. It's still retrograde. Um, and it's at a critical degree. And what does that mean? It means that a lot of things are on the table for you. It means that where you work, your health, where you live, your relationships, everything is kind of being challenged right now. Those areas that I just mentioned, if there's peace within those areas, then you probably don't have anything to worry about. But if there's tension, you need to deal with it. Now, it seems to me that have you had any health concerns lately, Donna?
Well, I was in an accident the 13th, and I'm having little issues right now.
Okay. So this is something that of course you need to address. It also feels like you've been pretty down. You have just kind of down about a lot of things. So I hope that we can rebuild your hope in life because Sagittarians they say that Sagittarius in some ways is the best sign of the zodiac. They're the most optimistic people of the zodiac. So we want to raise your optimism because I believe that normally you're a happy-go-lucky person, someone that's always laughing and having, looking at the bright side of things. But you haven't been able to do that lately. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
Okay. So what we want to do is we want to get you feeling better and we want to raise your energy. So you may want to get some amethyst or some other types of stones. Do you know where Nature's Treasures is in a Midwest city?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm
Okay.
about 2
You
miles
might
from there.
Okay, so go by there and see if you can get a stone or two, and speak to Heather or Krishna, and tell them John sent you from the radio, and I'll be there. By the way, in November. So if you can do that and get you some stones and raise your energy, do something good for yourself. Do something that's going to make you joyful and happy. I know you may not feel well because of the accident, but try to do something that's going to uplift your spirits. Go watch a comedy on television or something like that, and hopefully that will start to raise your spirits. I do feel like this is a period of depression for you at the moment, and you're just going to have to work your way out of it. But you will, and I do feel like better times are ahead. Okay.
Okay. Now, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Okay. So with that, I was happy to work with Donna from Dell City. And what I want to do is I want to now move to another one of my topics that I like to talk about all the time, and that's astrology. Because as you know, I've been talking a lot about the planet Pluto and how it's in the position of the American Revolution. It takes like 40 something years or so for Pluto to come around to where it was in a particular point of time. And right now, it's right smack dab during the American Revolution, or where it was. So we are in the middle of a great amount of change, a transformational change. And during that time in the late 1770s, we were under attack. The new nation was fighting a foreign power, but we were fighting amongst ourselves too. And it was a difficult time for everyone, whether you consider yourself a royalist or a patriot. And so there's difficulties in trying to figure things out. But one of the planets I haven't talked a lot about is Neptune. Neptune is what some astrologers call the great dissolver. Okay, right now it's in the third house of the United States, which is the house of communications. I feel like Neptune kind of represents the media, Neptune is the planet of illusion, addiction. It's the planet of falsehoods, and you have to be careful about it. It's got positives. It's the planet of the imagination, the dreamer, looking forward. I believe, for me, imagination is a higher level of intelligence than just intelligence, because you have to dream it before you can make it. So I put that as the highest level, and no other living creature on Earth has imagination. We have that. So we take imagination and then we make it practical. And that's why we can broadcast to you over the radio here and on Moonstruck TV. So the thing about it is Neptune's in the third house, but what worries me is when it goes into the fourth house, because the last time it was in the fourth house is that was when we had the Civil War in the United States. So we've got Pluto in the second, and we're getting ready to get Neptune to go into the fourth house. And this is going to be a time like we have never, ever seen before, ever. And so we've got to make sure we don't get into derangement syndrome, and we got to make sure that we care about each other, and that we keep cooler heads to prevail. So we'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. But time is short, and we are going to have to start to close the program down. And I want to take a moment to thank my sponsor, Miracles of Joy in Louisville, Texas. They have a promo code for you to use. It's 0223 PS0223 on their website, so that you can get a 25% discount. Be sure to like my Facebook page if you don't mind. We're going to be doing some other things in the near future. We have our second mediumship class tonight. I'm excited about that because I've got several students, and I mentioned that to you because we're developing the psychic journeys group of courses and the mediumship courses. So with that, I want to thank all of you for joining me today. I appreciate it. I'm John Cappello from North Texas. I'm a psychic medium, and with that, I want to say so long from the psychic side.